Yo, what's good you guys? I hope you're all doing well and welcome to the top 5 must-own vehicles in GTA Online for 2021 list. As you can probably tell from that title, in this video I'm going to cover 5 vehicles plus an honourable mention that you simply must own in GTA Online. These vehicles are all helpful in their own ways to the point where you just need them to make your GTA Online experience a lot easier and just a lot more enjoyable. They're just going to make your life easier and more efficient, and to put it simply, they're just must-haves. Now before I do jump into this list, if you want to see more videos just like this one, then make sure to smash the like button and comment down below what list I should do next. Also, if you're new around here and you do enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already. With that being said though, let's get right into the list. Alright, so first off on the list, and I'd also like to clarify this is in no particular order by the way. Anyways, first off, we have the Oppressor Mark II. Now, I know a lot of people hate this vehicle because of how overpowered it is, but it's because of how overpowered and good that it is that makes it a must own. No matter what type of player you are, whether you're a grinder or a tryhard, this vehicle is going to make your life a lot easier and it's going to be your best friend. Alright, so let's get into why you should own this vehicle. Firstly, the Oppressor can be easily accessed as you can call it in instantly next to you on the road via the motorcycle club menu. This is really helpful because you don't have to wait for like a mechanic to deliver it or anything. It just instantly spawns right next to you just like that, and that's really helpful. Now, the biggest benefit of the Oppressor is its general use. It's fast, it's agile, it's easy to use, anyone can pick it up and instantly be a pro at it. It's just extremely helpful and makes getting around a lot easier. Nothing else quite compares to it. It's probably the fastest and easiest way to get around the map. Now, what's great about the Oppressor is its insanely overpowered missiles. Now, sadly, these are usually used by griefers to decimate lobbies and destroy cargo, but if you're a grinder, you're going to absolutely love this feature for PvE combat. It just makes it so much easier. The tracking on the missiles are amazing, so as soon as you get a lock, you just got to click your left bumper and they're dead just like that, and it makes doing missions or headhunters or, you know, KO pre-co prep, stuff like that just so much easier, and you'll get it done 10 times quicker than if you were to use anything else. Now, although this vehicle is literally overpowered, it does have its downsides, and a lot of these downsides are nerfs made to it due to the fact that it's overpowered, with the most prominent being it has a 5-minute spawn cooldown. What this means is once you send it back to storage or, you know, destroy it or whatever, it's 5 minutes before you can call it out again, which sucks. It does suck because you have to wait all that time to get it back, but it's very much needed so tryhards and griefers can't just spam it. Another nerf just like that is it only has 20 missiles, so once you run out you have to send it back to storage and wait the 5 minutes and recall it to get another 20, but then again that is needed for balance. Apart from balance though, the biggest downside to it is it doesn't come stock with weapons and you need a terabyte to actually customize it, which is so many paywalls because you have to pay for a nightclub, then you have to pay for a terabyte just to be able to customize the Oppressor Mark II and add weapons onto it, and that just costs a lot of money. Another feature of the Oppressor Mark II which I'm adding into the disadvantage is the boost, and the reason it's a disadvantage is because it's fucking pointless. For the boost to recharge, you have to stay still and wait for it to recharge and then you can use it again. It's just pointless. I don't know why it has it. It is literally pointless. The only time I actually use the boost is for quickly getting into the air, but apart from that, there's no point waiting for it to, you know, recharge. It's useless. Overall though, love it or hate it, no matter what your thoughts on the Oppressor Mark II is, there's no denying that it's one of the most helpful vehicles in the game, and you just need to own one. Moving on from the Oppressor Mark II to the next spot on the list, but staying on the topic of oppressors, we have, well, just that, the Regular Oppressor. The Oppressor is very similar to the Oppressor Mark II in the way that it's really easy and fast to get around the map. However, unlike the Oppressor Mark II, it doesn't consistently fly, instead it has a boost and wings and it glides around the map. Now, although it doesn't fly like the Oppressor Mark II, it's still very quick to get around the map, and the boost is actually helpful. All you have to do is touch the ground to recharge it, meaning you can just keep spamming the boost while gliding across the map. It's because of its boost and wings and its just gliding capability that makes going from point A to point B super fast and super easy. However, is it as fast to get around in as the Oppressor Mark II? No. Is the Oppressor Mark II overall better? Yeah, so why should you actually buy the Oppressor? Well, the best reason is it doesn't have a spawn delay. So like the Oppressor Mark II, you can call it in instantly next to you via the Motorcycle Club menu. However, it doesn't have the 5-minute cooldown when you send it away, meaning you can call it in and send it back as many times as you want. This is really helpful, and you'll find yourself using the Oppressor a lot because of this, because it means if your Oppressor Mark II is on cooldown, you can just use the Oppressor Mark I instead. Also, along with it, you know, being able to instantly call in and get around the map easy, it has the same missiles as the Oppressor Mark II, the same 20 missiles. However, if you run out of them, you can just send it to storage and instantly get it back, and bam, you have your 20 missiles back. However, on the topic of missiles, that's when we get into the downsides. The biggest downside being these missiles have to be unlocked through bunker research, and to put it simply, the bunker research is a massive piss take. You could be waiting ages to randomly unlock these missiles. Like, it could be either the first thing you unlock or the last thing you unlock. You could be waiting ages. I don't even have them unlocked. That's how long I've been waiting. And even once you finally get these missiles unlocked, you need an Avenger or an MOC just to be able to customize the Oppressor and add the weapons. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it comes stock with miniguns, but these are just pointless. They do like no damage. You're not going to kill anyone with them. But yeah, the missiles are something you definitely want to watch out for when you get the Oppressor Mark I, because you can be waiting ages to unlock them. The only other drawback I can think of when it comes to the Oppressor is because it's not the Oppressor Mark II where you're just flying around and instead you have to glide, you can easily fall off the Oppressor and plummet to your death. So you just need to be careful when using it. Overall though, the Oppressor is extremely helpful, especially for when you don't have the Mark II available, and it's a must own. Next up, we have a helicopter that has replaced the CEO Buzzard in being the most helpful helicopter in the game. Of course, I'm talking about the Sparrow that was added with the KO Perico heist, not to be mistaken for the Sea Sparrow. For the longest time, literally for years, the CEO Buzzard has been the most helpful helicopter in the game, but in comes along the Sparrow and it does everything the Buzzard does, but better. First off, the Sparrow is extremely fast, to the point where apparently it's faster than the Oppressor Mark II. That's how you know this thing doesn't play around. Just like the CEO Buzzard, the Sparrow's best used for grinding in PvE. That's what it excels in. It can be called in via the interaction menu and spawn right next to you on the street, just like the CEO Buzzard, which is very helpful if you can't get your Mark II. It also has a spot for an extra person. It can carry 2 people, which means if you need to give a buddy a lift, you can. What's great about the Sparrow, apart from its speed and stuff, is its brilliant tracking, unlimited firing missiles. No 6-second cooldown like the Buzzard, it just has an unlimited stream of rockets. This makes doing things like preps or CEO work extremely easier, and the rockets also have really good tracking. They're not as good as something like the Mark II, but they're brilliant and ideal for doing heist preps. On the topic of heist preps, that's what you'll mainly be doing in the Sparrow, because it's the easiest way to get in and out of the Kasatka. It's stored in the Kasatka and you can fly over on top of the Kasatka and you'll just go into it. It's the best way to get in and out of it, and honestly, if you grind KO Perico, there's no reason why you shouldn't have the Sparrow. It makes doing anything a lot easier, but especially KO Perico. If you don't have the Sparrow for KO Perico, it's going to take you so much longer. You need this. Although this vehicle is amazing, it does have its downsides. Firstly, you need the Kasatka to own it. You can't just buy it as like a hangar vehicle. You need the Kasatka and you have to buy it as a moonpool vehicle. Also, the Sparrow doesn't come stock with missiles, which isn't the worst thing in the world because you don't have to research it or anything. All you have to do is pay like 300k and you get missiles, but it's still extra money in the end of the day, which can be seen as a downside. And the biggest downside to the Sparrow is how pathetically weak the armor is. If you like accidentally tap a building or get shot at a few times or even land a bit too hard, this thing will start smoking and eventually the engine will be destroyed. It's just got such pathetically light armor, so you need to be very careful with it. Apart from that though, this is probably the most helpful helicopter in the game, and you need it, especially if you're grinding KO Perico. You just need to own this vehicle. Okay, so moving on to the number 4 slot on this list is my favorite vehicle in the entire game, which is the Tordolor. Honestly, don't be surprised if I sound like a car salesman during this part, but there's so much I love about the Tordolor, and I could literally ramble on about it all day. Where do I even start? Okay, so as a car, the Tordolor handles really good. No special features about it. The car, you know, it just handles really nicely. But the best thing about the Tordolor Torador is the amount of these special features it has. So yeah, straight off the bat, it does handle really good as just a car, but one of the best things about the Torador is its boost, which makes it go extremely fast. It's a pretty short boost, but gets recharged if you're touching the ground, or if you're in the water. If you're just naturally in the water, it'll just recharge anyway. And yes, this car can go in the water, it can go underwater, because it has a submarine mode. So it has a boost that lets you pretty much fly across the map, not actually fly, but you can just propel yourself into the air, and it can go underwater. What's great about the fact it can be used as a submarine is it can also be stored in the Kasatka, which, like the Sparrow, means you can use it to get in and out of the Kasatka pretty easily, which is always good. Another great thing about the Torador is it comes stock with all its weapons. You don't have to pay anything else. It comes stock with its insanely overpowered missiles. The missiles on the Torador are great, and it comes with unlimited missiles. No 20 and then you have to send it back to the storage. You have unlimited, which means you can spam missiles until you die. And there's no cooldown between missiles. It's not fire 2 and then wait 6 seconds like some of the helicopters in the game or a jet. No, it's just an unlimited stream of missiles. And what's great about these missiles is they have really good tracking and can hit shots with good precision. If you get a lock on something, it's going to be destroyed. Like, even if you get a brief lock on an Oppressor Mark II, if you shoot 9 times out of 10, you're blowing it out of the sky. Which makes this car great for PvE and also extremely good for PvP, and it's a brilliant counter to the Oppressor Mark II. It's also good for situations like this because it has really good armor. I believe it can tank something like 8 missiles. It's really good. So it's got great missiles and it's got great defense. So if you want to use this in PvP or PvE, it's going to be great. Speaking of PvE, this thing can be used in heists. Yeah, it can be used in heists. Along with the fact it can hold 4 people, this makes it the best vehicle for doing heists. Also, another great thing is you don't need any extra like special property in order to customize it. It's just like any other car, and you can customize it in the LS Customs or anywhere where a normal car could be customized. So anywhere you can store or customize a normal car, you can do the same with a Torador, and it also has no special map icon, which can be pretty helpful for PvP. Now, moving on to downsides, I honestly can't think of any. That's not just me being biased, I can't think of any downsides for the Torador. The only thing I can think of is it could be easily destroyed by jets or against aerial targets. It's at a disadvantage, but apart from that, this car is literally amazing. If you can think of any downsides, comment them down below. But this car's amazing, and I could talk about it all day. You need to own the Torador. Enough said. Alright, so before I get into the final vehicle that you must own, here's an honourable mention, which is something you should still probably own, but it didn't make the list, which is the Aquila Stealth Attack Helicopter. Now, the best thing about the Aquila and its main feature is the fact it can go off the radar. This is going to be really helpful if you're someone who likes grinding crates or, you know, like motorcycle club businesses. Anything that involves you moving products, the Aquila is going to be really helpful for, because you can just collect whatever it is you need to move, get in your Aquila, get off the radar, and no one will bother you. No griefer is going to be able to see you're doing cargo and come and blow you up, so if you just want to be left alone, the Aquila is ideal for you. Also, if you're someone who likes PvP or wants to use it for PvE purposes, at the end of the day, it is an attack helicopter. So it comes with bombs, and you can either have homing missiles or barrage missiles. And if you get a co-pilot, and this thing can hold 4 people, so if you need to transport people, it's good. But if you can get a co-pilot, they also have a minigun they can use. The only reason I don't have this on the list, though, is because not a lot of people actually need to use off-radar nowadays. Not a lot of people are doing crates and stuff. And if you're someone who wants a combat helicopter, you're probably better off buying the Hunter, as it has a lot more weapons and is better for PvP. So if you're someone who doesn't really like the idea of going off radar and can't see yourself actually using its stealth capabilities, this is going to be a bit pointless for you, and like I said, you're better off buying the Hunter or something, which is why this isn't on the list, because it doesn't really appeal to everyone. But if you're someone who actually does like the idea of being able to go off the radar and is someone who does like crates and stuff, this is going to be ideal for you, and you must own it. So yeah, the honourable mention is the Aquila, and now we get into the last thing on the list. Alright, so finally, although this list was in no particular order, I definitely say we left the best one to last. This is the most important out of them all, and if there was ever a vehicle you needed to own more than anything else, this would definitely be it. This would definitely be it. And of course, I'm talking about the Kasatka. I'm sure a lot of you saw this one coming, but the Kasatka is simply a must-own. The Kasatka comes with a whole range of features, such as guided missiles, which are really cool and honestly quite a lot of fun, but they're really helpful for PvP. You can just sit in your submarine, send out a missile, and kill someone who's miles away. It's so much fun. Is it overpowered? A little bit, but it's fun. The Kasatka also comes with a weapons workshop, which is really helpful, and a cafe where you can get snacks. max. One of the best features of the Kasaka is also you can fast travel anywhere on the map for a cheap cost, which is extremely helpful. However, if you don't want to do so, you can just drive around the Kasaka normally as it is. But fast travel is an extremely helpful feature. But even after all these features, that's simply not the reason you want to get the Kasaka. The main reason to get the Kasaka is for the KO Perico heist. There is no better way to make money in GTA Online than the KO Perico heist. It's the best way to make money and nothing else competes. If you do it right, you'll be getting millions per hour, and it's by far the best way to make money, which is why you need it. You need the Kasaka, or making money in GTA Online will take a lot longer. The only downside of the Kasaka I could think of is because it's all the way out at sea, it can be annoying to get to, but like I said, that's why you buy a Sparrow and it just becomes a lot easier to get to it. I can't think of any negatives for the Kasaka, so if you can think of any, comment them down below. But the Kasaka simply is a must-own due to the fact it's going to give you the best way to make money in GTA Online, and I mean the rest of the features are also pretty cool, I guess. Anyways, that has been my list for the top 5 vehicles you must own in 2021. If you disagree with me, make sure to comment down below your top 5 list and why you have picked that. Also, if I have missed anything, also make sure to comment down below. If you did go on to enjoy the video though, a like would be massively appreciated, as this sort of video takes a while to make, so if you could like it, it would mean a lot. And if you're new around here and you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe. Anyways, I've been Underwater Pixel. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.